started construction of this museum in September 2012, and under the wise leadership of the under the wise leadership of the Marshal Kim Jong-un, we finished the construction within only 10 months. The museum and the weapons exhibitions outside and all the renovations, the monuments, everything was done within only 10 months' time.
The news block at the state-controlled TV channel focuses entirely on the country's economy. The biggest share of North Korea's GDP is from industry and mining, followed by the service sector and agriculture, which isn't enough to meet the population's needs. Slightly over 15% of the land can be farmed. Tourism and disguised foreign investments are sources of foreign currency badly needed in a country living with sanctions and economic war. Tourists are only allowed to pay in euros, US dollars or Chinese yuan. They have to pay higher tourist prices. The few foreigners who visit the country, many of whom are Chinese, are constantly accompanied by one or several guides. Tourists can't leave their room in the 47-story hotel, complete with 5 restaurants and souvenir shop, and walk unattended to the casino in the basement. It's leased by a company from Macau. Only twice did we get the chance to walk the streets of Pyongyang. The rest of the time we were chauffeur-driven in a minivan. Every morning and night, several times a day, this disturbing melody can be heard playing on the many loudspeakers in Pyongyang's railway station. Newcomers are immersed in a nightmarish atmosphere, a funeral march serving to remind all who pass through of the great eternal generals. Every visitor to the capital brings flowers. They must pay their respect to the colossal bronze statues standing at the top of Mansu Hill. North Koreans say that they're required to perform this ceremony each and every time they visit any city. A quite remarkable number of literary works are attributed to the great generals. The National Library contains the selected outstanding works of the founder of the nation. There are more than 700 volumes of Kim Il-sung's speeches, books and plays. One of the best known by the eternal president is a speech calling on the people to support his son, Kim Jong-il, who would soon take over from his father.
김일성 대원수님과 경량 김정일 장군 그리고 현재 우리 김정은 원수님 이 세 분이 그 세상 사람들이 이제 어떻게 이해하겠는지 그건 모르겠지만 우리에게는 그 남들한테 설명하자면 역사적으로 풀어야 되잖아요. 그런 설명은 필요 없고 한 가족에서 부모와 자식 간에 우리 혈연 관계나 같다는 거. 우선 우리가 일제 때부터 역사를 파자면 다른 나라한테 목해서 살 때 우리나라를 진짜 찾아주시고 우리에게 모든 이거 삶의 행복과 모든 것을 다 마련해 주도록 정치를 펴나가시는. 그러니까 만민이 진짜 우러르고 투표도 하고 우리 이분을 대통령으로 모셔주시오.
It's almost 3 years since Kim Jong-il died. Throughout that time, his image has been closely linked with that of his father, the eternal president. Kim Il-sungya orchids and Kim Jong-ilya begonias grace all public gardens and civic buildings. Images captured by a camera have to be perfect. The taking of partial pictures of the general's statues or photographs marred by lens flare is strictly forbidden. North Koreans all wear special insignia near their hearts. The badges bear portraits of the leaders, and among other things, they show the wearer's merit and how close they are to the government. We were told that the hardest to obtain depicts the smiling faces of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il together. Buildings are generously adorned with their portraits. There are 2 separate but identical halls, each of which contain the leaders' embalmed bodies. The Kumsusan Mausoleum represents the apotheosis in the leader's cult. Photography inside is strictly forbidden. Two seemingly endless moving walkways are decorated with the generals' pictures portraying their lives and work. They lead to pharaonic marble halls containing the mummified leaders, surrounded by treasured objects from their respective eras. Armored trains and cars, an array of medals and decorations, even a huge map giving a detailed account of their travels. North Koreans dress in their finest clothes and flock in their hundreds to the mausolea. Today, our film crew was among them. We'd asked that North Korean worker for his thoughts about the new leader's rule. Leaning on a cane, Kim Jong-un reappeared in public after being absent for a month and a half. North Korea's mass media attributed his low profile to his indisposition. The disappearance coincided with our visit, although we only learned of it when we left. The leader, though, didn't seem to have become subject to rumor or gossip, and the few who were lucky enough to see him at close quarters were thrilled.
소리가 만세 소리가 너무 요란해서 그래서 뛰었단 말입니다. 아이들 한 명에 뭐 아버지, 어머니, 할아버지, 할머니들까지 따라오니까 어른들이 매우 많았습니다.
At that time, it was too sudden to see him, so I can't feel it. It was real, so I thought it wasn't just like real. I felt this. Is it just dream or like that? Yeah. And later he passed across in front of me, and then I knew that I really met him. Yeah, in my life. Yeah.
For most, though, daily contact with the exalted leader is limited to the opening minutes of the evening news broadcast, which as a rule reports his latest activity. When Kim Jong-un didn't appear in public, the bulletins aired recordings of previous official engagements.
스님께서 지금 아시겠지만 나라가 이 고립도 하고 긴장한 측면이 많지만 이런데 많이 품을 들이고 투자를 해서 꾸려준 데 대해서 정말 감명 깊게 생각할 때가 많습니다.
경야는 김정은 원수님께서 이렇게 이 단편적인 신뢰를 놓고 봐서도 뭐 말하겠는데 경야는 원수님께서 이렇게 현대적인 우리에게 바통강 백화점을 건설해 주시고 이민들에게 보다 훌륭하고 문명한 생활을 안겨주시려고 얼마나 러브와 심려를 많이 기울이고 계십니까? 오늘 한 가지 신뢰를 놓고 봐서도 저 오늘 일요일에 하루를 이렇게
원수님께서는 우리 인민들을 이 세상에서 제일 읍등한 인민들을 내세워주기 때문에 우리 인민들에 떼고 그저 이 세상에 제일 좋은 거, 제일 귀중한 거 모든 행복을 안겨준단 말입니다. 그래서 우리 문수물놀이장, 겁등어관 비롯해서 농락물놀이장, 그다음에 이 기혈극장 정말 우리 그 백화점들 다 보면 정말 우리 눈물 나서 이렇게 감동 나서 정말 보지 못할 정도로 이렇게 인민들이 가슴 안고 우리 원수님께 기쁨과 만족을 위해서 일하다고 충성이만 맹세를 다진단 말입니다. 그러니까 그걸 우리 인민들은 정말 행복한 인민들이고 세상에서 부름 없이 정말 행복하다는 걸 우리 널리 좀 소개해 주십시오.
A sample of what was said when we were able to interview people on the street. Even though this was outside our planned itinerary, no spontaneous responses were forthcoming. Our attendants carefully selected the people we could talk to, and particularly sensitive topics were very much off limits.
Los coreanos son muy tímidos. En segundo lugar, ellos no entienden la mentalidad occidental o el por qué se realizan esas preguntas. Normalmente un coreano, al realizar esas preguntas, pensará que lo está haciendo con alguna intención oculta. Entonces, frente a esa intención, preferirá no responder. De todas formas, aunque pudiera responder, probablemente su nivel de conocimiento está centrado en su departamento, en su barrio. Es bastante limitado.
Ideological upbringing and loyalty to the regime begin with early childhood. The first kindergarten in North Korea was reorganized during Kim Jong-il's rule. It's open from Monday to Saturday to accommodate the children of working mothers. In one school hall, 3- and 4-year-olds put on a performance for newcomers. Five children sing a heroic song telling how their beloved leader became a steel commander because ever since he was a child, he'd understood the importance of military force. During a revolutionary history lesson, the teacher shows a model of a fantasy paradise where they say Kim Il-sung was born. They repeat the place and date of his birth. He was born in spring, just like magnolias, says the teacher. During a science lesson, pupils are told a story about how the great generals once sent children tomatoes, pears, and grapes that they had personally picked themselves.
자기 혼자서 밥을 먹는 이런 교양을 주고, 그다음에 이제 지능 충실성 교양을 기본 주나만다. 어려서부터 우리 위대한 대원수님들이 어린 시절을 따라 배워서 동무들을 사랑하고 어른들을 존경하는 이런 마음을 키워주고, 그다음에 이거 집단 생활을 하기 때문에 어린이들 속에 자립성을 키워주고, 그다음에 동지들을 서로 동무들 화상간에 서로 도와주고 이끌어주는 이런 마음을 키워줍니다.
A squirrel and a hedgehog are the heroes of the most popular children's cartoon. Agile and smart, North Korean squirrels fight their enemies, ferrets and mice. The quality of animation has been acknowledged internationally. That's why overseas studios hire Korean animators in Pyongyang at very low rates to work on their films. The International Movie Festival in Pyongyang provided the pretext that allowed our crew to secure an invitation to enter North Korea.
Welcome to the 14th Pyongyang International Film Festival.
조선 영화는 우선 민족성을 우선시하고 자기 민족의 미감에 맞게, 자기 민족의 정서에 맞게, 또 자기 민족의 의지에 맞게 영화를 만드는 것을 최우선시하고 있단 말입니다. 그러면서도 세계적인 발전 추세를 놓치지 말고 세계를 향해서 치달아오려는 강렬한 배짱을 가지고 지금 자기 영화를 새롭게 전변시키기 위한 그 출로를 지금 모색하고 있습니다.
The Flower Girl represents the classics of North Korean cinema. The screenplay was written by Kim Il-sung when he was 20. It was made into a movie 40 years ago and is now one of the 5 greatest revolutionary operas. It's the story of a young girl from a poor family who was suppressed by a wicked landlord during Japanese occupation. On the banks of the Taedong River that cuts through the city, everyday life overshadows the exotic and mysterious atmosphere enveloping North Korea. Oblivious to the international headlines, 3 boys try their luck at casting lines from the riverside, while another family takes to boating. Local teams are replaying a classic game, a match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. But this is the volleyball version. It's one of the most popular sports in the country. People pay a visit to the Changwon Beauty and Aesthetics Parlor on Wednesdays. A poster displayed near the entrance to the salon features the most popular women's hairstyles. The women usually wear heels and will never let their hair down if it's too long. Among the styles most often recommended by men's hairdressers is the one sported by the country's leader. There's no place for extravagance here either. Excessive attention is paid to order, cleanliness and symmetry in the capital city's streets. The harmony and serenity that prevail in the city are there to conceal the controlled lifestyle that North Koreans must observe. The highly paternalistic policy of the state prescribes exactly what citizens must hear, read and see.
No es que se censuren, es que directamente no permitimos, por ejemplo, influencia de música o de modas exteriores. Entonces, no se puede hablar de censura cuando no es algo que se ha realizado dentro del país que tengas que criticarlo. Normalmente un ciudadano que va a escribir una obra o va a hacer algo, no va a hacerlo contra nuestra ideología, contra el espíritu del socialismo. Por lo tanto, no se puede hablar propiamente de una censura, sino de un bloqueo, sobre todo de lo que viene del exterior.
Using these computers in the People's Palace of Education, access to the country's intranet is easy. It's a localized network isolated from the outside world, full of sex and American propaganda, as one North Korean resident told us. The internet is available to a select few. Scientists and research workers, for example.
예를 들어서 우리 강명성 호를 이제 3호를 이제 싸울 때도 이 정박이 이제 다 이게 다 도움이 돼서 그래서 이제 성과적으로 싸울 수 있었던 것입니다. 지금 제가 이제 도서관에서 이제 전자 도서관을 운영하면서 보면 이 정보학도 이제 이게 한 기초로서 이 기반.
In 2014, Pyongyang by night has little in common with how it was described a few years ago. The main avenues are brightly illuminated with neon lights and street lamps, although smaller residential areas and streets do succumb to darkness when night falls.
노래로 시작되고 노래로 승리하는 이런 세계 그 어디도 없는 독특한 음악 정치에서 안반된다고도 말할 수 있습니다. 노래 없는 생활은 꽃이 없는 화단과 같다는 이런 유명한 명문도 내놓으시고 우리 인민들이 자유롭고 문명한 정치 사관 생활과 물질 문화 생활과 함께 이 우리 문화 정서적인 생활.
Some members of one very popular band graduated from this conservatory, considered the most important in North Korea. They say that the 5 members of the Morangbong band were personally handpicked by the current leader, Kim Jong-un. The first woman's pop band looks more rebellious than its lyrics actually suggest. This represents something of a departure from the norm in the country. Meticulously arranged and monotone aesthetics.
우리 경의하는 김정은 원수님께서 우리를 항상 지켜주고 계시고 어느 나라 인민이 지켜보듯이 우리 인민들을 항상 영도하시고.
In Spain, and a year before preparing for this trip, we spoke to Choe and other aerial artists.
배우로서 지금 유럽 땅에 처음 와가지고선 이스파나 축전에 참가해서 지금 이스파나 사람들로 하여금 우리 주체 교회 예술의 위력을 높이 떨치는 데 대해서는 막 기쁘다는 거 지금. 조선 교회 배우로서의 궁지가 많다는 거. 어릴 때부터 우리 국가에서 이렇게 체계적인 교육 과정을 거쳐갖고선 이만큼 훌륭한 교회 배우가 됐다는 거. 아직도 국가에서 우리를 훌륭한 교회 배우가 되기 위해서 적극 밀어주고 또 그 장차 이게 발전하기 위해서 많이 노력해주고 부담을 많이 해준다는 거. 난 거기서 한성원으로서 좀 교회 배우로서 생활하는 게 막 궁지높고 행복하다.
Few ever represent their country abroad like they do, or even earn foreign currency for the system like workers laboring in the Middle East. Not many get the chance to see anything beyond North Korea's tightly sealed borders. One plane filled with workers took off for Kuwait on the day ours landed in Pyongyang. On our way to the hotel, we stared around the unfamiliar streets, certain that we'd be able to gain some insight into the most unknown country in the world. 10 days later, we knew different. An impermeable barrier separating us from them blurs every story we hear about this country, giving it a sense of incompleteness. And that imprecision holds true for the story you've just seen, too. Everything we heard lacked the millions of voices and opinions needed to be credible. What really happens in this faraway land ruled by one young marshal is anyone's guess.